YouTube frogs, Wuthering Waves content is here. Super excited to deep dive into this game and share all my experience and knowledge with you guys as we progress through the game. First major thing they announced, Wuthering Waves launch will be providing everyone a special beginner wishing system that will allow you guys to select one standard 5-star of your choice, and pulling on that banner will guarantee that 5-star. Combined with their level up reward system that will give you a 5-star standard weapon selector at UL 45, which is basically the adventure rank or trailblaze level. These are excellent ways to start off your Wuthering Waves journey early on. In this video, I'll give you guys my experience and impressions of each standard character to help you decide what fits your playstyle best. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'll be making tons of Wuthering Waves content on this channel, and we'll also be doing a live stream marathon on both twitch.tv/Xlice and my YouTube, so drop by if you want to grind alongside me. And just as a disclaimer, play how you want with who you want. I want you guys to obviously prioritize your interest. This video is aimed for those who are maybe more meta oriented or haven't seen what the characters do and want a TLDR of each one's playstyle. Also, this video's combat references closed beta 2, so there may be updates from the full game. First up, my personal favorite, totally unbiased experience by the way, the arrow damage martial artist Jianxin. I love this character to the moon and back. With her jade color scheme and cute demeanor, she will be the reason why I play this game, and I plan on tackling as much content as possible with her as my main DPS. Objectively speaking though, Jianxin is a mix between DPS and support type character. View her kit kinda like a mini Venti, as she's the only one of the 5-star standard characters with a dedicated grouping mechanic. Her forte gauge, which is this bottom bar, fills up when she gains chi, and when it's full, she can hold left click and channel a long duration AoE ability. This ability gives you a shield with increasing strength at different breakpoints, and does take quite a long time to cast. This shield persists through each party member and periodically heals your team if it's still active. Her E ability is a true counter, where if any enemy attacks you during this period, you will negate that attack's damage and counter back. Her ult is Venti's ult, generating a large wind field that continuously sucks enemies to the center. Large enemies will be sucked less. Outro skill is one of the two supportive abilities from the standard characters, the other being Verina, and Jianxin's will increase your team's ult damage for 14 seconds when she leaves the field via a QTE. Overall, she's a patient character. Both her ult and her channeled ability require setup to utilize effectively. If you like someone that can both protect your team and deal decent damage, she's a great mix. I have heard that there may be buffs planned for full release, but not sure. If so, she'll only become a better choice. I vibe so hard with her design, and I hope you do too. Next up, Lingyang. He is one of two of what I would consider hyper carries of the standard characters. Hyper carries typically rely on lots of on-field time and are usually paired with other units that are able to buff or provide any sort of support from the sidelines. He specifically deals ice-type damage and focuses primarily on dealing massive damage during his ult duration. His E is a no cooldown damage ability, but has significant animation time and has enhanced effects when weaved in after the third basic attack. You'll notice that it's enhanced when the E icon shimmers. Using his E when it's enhanced will slowly charge his forte gauge up. When full, holding basic attack will put him into a midair state, giving him enhanced basic attack combo for about 5 seconds. If his ult is activated with enough forte bar, he will also enter this state with double the duration. So basically, using his ult commits him to at least like 10 seconds of on-field time, where he'll deal enhanced damage, all of which is in midair. His outro skill is pure damage on top of the rest of his kit, so he's really just out here trying to deal as much damage as possible before he leaves. Because of his high on-field time and many sources of damage, he definitely caters towards players willing to commit as many resources as possible to make him specifically super strong. If you like this style of hyper carry, Lingyang will be right up your alley. Now on to the pink-haired plushie master, Encore. So when trying her out, she very much reminded me of Annie and Tibbers from League of Legends, with the way she summons and controls her puppets, and also she deals fire type damage. I would consider her to be an interesting combo between tank, burst damage, and somewhat of a quick swap. She has the capability of dealing large amounts of damage if her abilities are timed precisely, so she's not the type of character that operates very well if you just want to spam keys without paying much attention. Her basic attack change has a proc on the 4th basic attack that will allow the 5th one to go off, dealing significant extra damage. If this is not timed properly, the basic attack change will reset on the 4th and go back to the 1st. Her E also has roughly the same mechanic. Dealing initial damage and then reactivation on the Shimmer Q will proc another big attack. Her hold basic attack is like a tanking ability. It gives her 70% damage reduction, which you can't see here obviously because these mobs in the trial don't actually attack you. And then after a period of time, consumes her forte gauge to deal nuke damage. Her ult form basically just enhances all of her previous abilities that we just talked about. It grants her E an instant explosion, also heavily reduces its cooldown, so it's basically spammable here, and also grants her hold basic attack an initial DOT while it's channeling, followed by an enhanced explosion. Overall, I find her to be a mix between an on-field DPS with specific new timings, and also a possible ult swap character used for QTE switches and to instantly activate her ult when available for explosive damage. If you enjoyed that type of vibe, she'll definitely be the character for you. Alright, Calcharo. So here we've got the Giga Chad Hot Daddy character. He's the only male of the standard 5-star characters. With that archetype, he's also an incredibly strong hyper carry style electro DPS character, with a similar style of animation canceling and ability weaving like the Luke from Genshin. This similarity comes with his E, which has 3 charges and can be weaved in between his basic attacks. Those 3 charges correspond directly to his forte gauge, which, when full, allows Calcharo to initiate a much stronger charge attack that consumes the gauge and deals massive electro damage. In his ultimate form, the forte gauge changes to a 5 attack sequence, and are instead activated by his now enhanced basic attacks instead of his E. Overall, in my opinion, Calcharo is the quintessential damage dealer that doesn't require super dedicated on-field time, but still deals significant amounts of damage when his E is available and his ult is available. If you're looking for a daddy type character to set your heart ablaze on your Wuthering Waves journey, he's very easily a top choice. And finally, Verina. So I saved Verina for last because, well, she's the true support character of the 5-star standards with dedicated healing, attack boost, damage percent boost, off-field coordinated attacks, and a free revival for a fallen team member once every 10 minutes. It's not exactly a free revival, but it basically protects them from dying. I mean, I think that list basically speaks for itself. As it currently stands, she's one of the most powerful supports that is amazing for quick setup and requires little activation to be able to benefit your team. Her forte gauge is charged by either her 5th basic attack, her E, or her intro skill, which we can't demonstrate here. Her forte gauge is consumed by her charge attack, which heals your entire team and also recovers QTE energy to initiate a swap. Her ult has an initial team heal and applies her mark to all enemies hit. So whenever your active character, which doesn't have to be Verina herself, hits enemies with the mark, a coordinated attack from Verina will occur and also will heal your active character based on the number of enemies hit. Now this heal does have an internal cooldown, but we won't get to that because it's not a detailed guide. Now for the supportive stuff, her outro skill. This heals allies over 6 seconds based on her attack and grants a 15% damage boost over 30 seconds for your whole team. When she uses a charge attack, ult, or her outro skill again, she'll provide 20% attack for 20 seconds to the whole team. And then finally, she also protects one ally from dying with a shield based on her attack on a 10-minute cooldown. So overall, her kit, at least from closed beta 2, is loaded to the brim with these team buffs and general survivability, making her definitively the most valuable standard 5-star for meta play. So if you're looking for that quintessential must-have support that is useful for any DPS you care about, this is the character for you. Overall, all of the 5-star standard characters have their specific niche. It's really up to you to decide what you favor more. Remember that the 5-star selector comes after your initial beginner summons, so please make sure you finish that first before making your decision. I anticipate that most players will probably opt for Verina as their 5-star selector, because if you don't get Verina from her novice banner, which is like 80% of you, you will probably want her here. If you do manage to get Verina on the novice summons, you can pick any of the 4 5-stars you want to commit as your DPS, or use a 4-star DPS and possibly grab Jianxin as another support. Or just pick Jianxin because Jianxin is cool and Jianxin fan club. Anyways, hope this video helps you guys decide. Don't forget this video is closed beta 2 perspective, so character kits may have slightly changed. Thanks for watching as always, and don't forget to enjoy the game. Take care.